We're going to show you today how to change your brakes on your vehicle. This is for a Toyota Fortuner. So if you look here, what we're going to do is we're going to change the brakes. We're going to change the disc, the brake pads, and the brake disc is going to be changed. And then one of the dust covers. I think one of the dust covers is perished, so we're gonna do a replacement on that as well. The first thing that you need to do is, by changing the whole thing that we want to do now, is to do it in a certain order of sequence so it can work the best way out. So the first thing we're going to do is take out the brake pads. You see here's two circlips. You see you've got two circlips here. So you've got the long nose. You take it there and you take out your circlips. Right, that's the first thing you do. Keep it in hand and then pull out your pins. It should come out easily. If it's a bit stuck, you can just lightly tap with a hammer just to get it a bit loose, and then you get it out. Alright, that's the first part. The next part is to take out the brake pads. Now you'll find that it's a bit stuck because the pistons is pushed on its limit, so we need to release it. Usually you need to open your brake fluid cap on top, but we're not going to do it. It's not really necessary. So what we do is we just clamp it a bit and push the piston slightly back so that the brake disc can come loose. You see, if we pushed it slightly back, it's starting to come loose. And then the same is done to that side where you can take it out. Right, and then when you've pushed it a bit back, then your old pads is coming out. This is not so worn. The other part that we did was much more worn. This is still sort of fine, but we are exchanging it in anyway. So that is the part that you take it out. The next part is to take out the whole caliper. And if you look at the back here, we've got the screw on this side. This one needs to come out. This one needs to come out. And then obviously this one here, you also need to loosen. This comes out. And then you take a cable tie, which you could just hang around part of your vehicle that is strong, and by taking it out you clip it on here so that you can work nice and easy on your caliper. Important thing while you're losing these nuts is not to take them out immediately, because then this thing only hangs on this. So what you do is you actually first loosen this part, and then when this is loose, then you take that part out. So we've took out this nut. It's the final part that comes out. It's got a washer as well. Just keep it like that and you'll see it's a bit fitted in there, and you can just wiggle it a bit. If it doesn't want to come out, then you start with the bottom part. It will come out altogether. Okay, so now these nuts are loose, and now you see this part also comes out quite easily. Now you turn it around a bit, and then you need to get your cable tie so it can hang freely here, not by bending your pipes. Like so, in the top part. Okay, so managed to get the cable tie in, got it on something strong here, and now you've got your caliper nice and open. So what you will notice is this dust cover. You see these ones are quite alright yet, but this one is perished, so we're going to put in a new one. But first what we need to do is to push out the pistons. So for this to take place, you need to go into your vehicle and then slightly press the brake, and then this piston will come out slowly, and then it's got to give you enough space. You see this one is non-existent. There aren't even one up here no more. These two are this one is quite alright yet, but this one is also damaged, so that's what we're going to replace. So these are the new ones purchased that you can buy by your car dealer. And what happens here is that this is your stuff that needs to pull over, and this is the other stuff. So as you've pushed out your pistons by pumping the brake, these pistons came out. Then this rubber slightly comes over here, and then after that is on, Then you take your seal that comes here at the end. That comes out right at the end here, over this rim here. Okay, so this can become quite tricky, but this is your bottom part, this is the top part, so that is how you pull it over. So it's not like just coming over, but it is elastic, luckily, and that is how you pull it over. But then this part is where it becomes difficult. This part needs to be pulled right over there. You see, like that, and right around it must be like that, and then when it's on like that, then it's fine. While we're busy here, this brake disc is a bit in my way, so we're going to take this off. Now sometimes you'll find that this is stuck, it feels like it doesn't want to come loose. Then you just tap it a bit with a soft hammer, and then it will become loose, because the rust sometimes can pick up here. If you haven't replaced this for quite a while, then it can sit quite stuck, but otherwise it comes right off quite easily. On your old brake discs that you took out, you feel slightly overhead. If it's got rifts and everything, then you know it needs to be skimmed. You can either throw it away, buy new ones, or you can take it in so that they can skim it with a machine, with oil and whatever, with a small needle that just lines through it and make it quite smooth again, and you can reuse it again. It can be skimmed for quite numerous times before you need to replace them totally. Now the next tricky part is, you'll see that this rubber needs to be there, but it doesn't want to stay there because this piston is a bit too out. So you can like pull the piston a bit back, but by putting on the ring, it will keep it in place. So putting on the ring is just like pushing it on over, but it takes quite some strain on your fingers to get it over. But you usually start at the back, and then by pressing with your nails, you just press it over from the beginning, over, and then you work it right around till you get it on. It needs to be on the end here, on this part here. So it's quite some trick, but you got quite leverage on the front parts. By pushing it a bit up, then it comes neatly over. Then you just work it around, work your fingers over till it's neat, and then as soon as it's nice and over, then it will keep it there. And you can just carefully, don't bend your pipes and stuff here, carefully twist it around and have a look. Bring the camera over here and have a look at the back, just to make sure that it's also nicely fitted on this side. Now the next part, the pistons was a bit out, so what we're going to do, we're going to push them back. It's usually quite difficult just to push it with your hand, but if you use real hard force, then you will be able to push it a little bit back. You don't need to push it all the way back, but just get it a bit back, because it's first going to need to go over here to be refitted. This is the holes, and this is the back holes. So this turns around, comes over here, and this part here comes in here. So we cut the cable tie. Now is it by just fitting it back. It's by bringing it over here, push this one over here, put it in there, then it's quite there on the spot there. Took your nut there, and first just let it get grip there. There you are. Then you take your second nut, there's one at the bottom, and then you get your one on top. You can either start with the bottom part or the top part, doesn't really matter. If it doesn't make connection, just shift it a bit around till you get it to find the right spot. Just general safety tips. Your car's got not really support, it's just with your jack, but make sure you got extra support, that if your jack fails, then it falls on your support. In front I've got another one as well. And then don't work with your head inside the vehicle, try to stay out, legs not really in, It's always better to work this way around, with the legs out of the way, or even to come on your knees and work like that, and not really sit under the car, like for if something happens, then you are away and you can't get hurt. Also the tire is also put there, just for safety measure, extra safety measure. So it's always good to be real safe when you do this. So the next part that you have is to actually put in the brakes. This is your pads. It needs to press on your disc. This needs to come in here. This is your squealer. So as soon as your brake comes to the end, this piece of steel squeal on this brake pad, which make a tweet sound. So now what you'll see, this is impossible to get in because the pistons are out. So we first need to push the pistons back now again. Now, like I said before, there is an easier way to release your pressure on your brake fluid cap, but this is not necessary now. What we do is we use a small tool like this, and we push it in here, and then we press it back a bit till we can get something in bigger, and then press it still even further back. So what you do is slightly pull it back, and I use a cloth not to damage anything, and then what you do is you just keep on pushing it back on the top and on the bottom. You do this here, push it back, the same here, but we're first going to do the first part. First going to install the first part in, and then we're going to do the other part. So yeah, then using a thicker one with a cloth, we put it in here, and then you just press it, and by pressing it you'll see the pistons go a bit back. See, and then at the bottom part as well, push it back, then you've got your space. Take your fingers, pull this a bit back, and then your brake pad is supposed to come in. If it doesn't fit in quite well, you just need to push it up and down till it's over the holes here, the top and at the bottom. Then you do the same on this side. First with the small one, pushing back, and then going with your big one till you get it in, pushing back, and put your brake in. So when you take out your pins, it's always best to put it back in before putting it down, because this can get lost all of a sudden. If you don't have it, you've got a problem. So we're taking this out, and we're pushing it in. This is to hold your brake like that, and then here you need to move your whole disc plus your brake pad and your disc to get all in. So it's a bit of moving up and down and left and right till you get the right spot, until you get it in. So fiddling around, pull a bit with a wire until it's in, and then you got your circlip that you just press back. Circlip is to hold the pin so that it doesn't come out. Then your bottom part, you do exactly the same. Bottom pin, the same thing, pushing it in, pushing it through, put your pin in, and that's it. And then you put your wheel on and you're done. Then before you go, remember the brakes won't be there immediately, so you need to be very careful. Pump it a bit till your brake becomes hard, and then you go for your drive and test and feel if everything is alright. Thank you for watching.